One of the most important parts of getting your fire started is always getting the right materials. First thing you want to do is, once you got your fire site selected, you want to put some kind of a barrier down between the ground and where your fire is going to be. It's just like when you're sleeping. The ground is going to pull that heat and out of your fire, and then without heat and oxygen and fuel, your fire can't go. It's got to have all three of those things. So we've got to have a barrier. In this particular instance, we've used this nice flat piece of limestone. It's going to create a barrier between the ground and the fire. Second, what we've done is we've went around and we've gathered up a bunch of tinder here. This is what is actually going to take our spark. So we've taken this tinder, and we've got most of this off of a cedar tree. When you walk around a cedar tree, and you'll see the bark, and it's going to have these little pieces on it. They're going to be hanging off, and they're going to kind of be curled up. Those are what you want to take off. Don't take the bark off the tree. The bark will not start a fire, plus you'll hurt the tree. But get these little bitty furry, hairy pieces off the cedar tree. That's what's going to hold your spark. We've also found some pieces of some dried grass here, and we're going to put this in the middle of our cedar tinder, and this is what's going to take our spark. As soon as we get this to take a spark, and as it starts to go up, then we're going to add this dry grass to it. That's going to add more fuel to it. And then we're going to add lots of oxygen to it. We're going to blow lots of air up underneath it and get it going. And then we're going to move to these really small little twigs right here. You can see we've gathered these twigs. We've broken them all up into nice small little pieces. They're nice and dry. We're going to add those right on top of our grass and our other tinder. And then we'll move up to some bigger twigs and throw those on there. Once those things all get started, then we'll have a fire. Then we can keep adding bigger pieces of fuel to it, bigger pieces of wood to it. We've taken our tinder that we've gathered off of our cedar tree, and we've put it nice, and we've got a nice little bird's nest. That's kind of what you want to think of as a nice little bird's nest. We've also gathered our dried grasses, which is going to go next. We've got our small twigs and our larger twigs. So now all we got to do is get a fire going.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so what we're doing here now is he's added a little spark to our dried grasses and our nest of cedar tree shavings. Now we're going to add some more dried grasses to this and really get it going. We're just going to keep adding the oxygen to it. It's going to keep adding the bigger twigs to it, get everything to catch up. We've got fuel, we've got our barrier between the ground and the fire, and then we're going to have a fire. We just keep adding things to it, and it's that simple. It's not hard. Just take that extra few minutes, gather your tinder, gather your materials that you need. You're going to have a much better opportunity to get a fire going in the wilderness. So take that extra few minutes to gather all the materials that you need. It'll well pay off in the long run.